All right, so you might be considering building a brand new home with the builder, and you probably have a world of questions about that whole entire process. This video is going to address all of my experience I've had in all the years I've done real estate on building with a builder. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons. Pro number one, pretty obvious actually. You get to choose all your finishes. You get the floor plan you want. You can maybe choose the lot. Sometimes builders have a lot of lots you can pick from. So you can get maybe a high lot, or maybe you can get a rectangular lot, whatever might maybe work for you as far as that goes. And you really get to design the home exactly the way you want it. And of course, it's all brand new. And even when you move in, you get that new home smell for like a long time, which is great. All right, so the con of building, this can be a very long process. I've seen it take a long time, and you gotta keep in mind, this is a journey that you take with a builder from the time that you sign on that contract until the time you take possession of your home. You are gonna be asked to make a whole host of decisions throughout the entire process. You're gonna have to be visiting the site on a regular basis. Trust me on this, you're gonna see sometimes the tradespeople are putting a window in the wrong spot, or a fixture is going in the wrong area. You've got to police this yourself. It's not all on the builder. So this is a journey that you have to sign up for and be prepared for, and you're in it for the long haul. Hey, if you do like these videos, I do them all the time for Calgary, so just hit the like button. You can also subscribe, and you can be notified by hitting the bell button as well, because I do them all the time. So pro number two is, yeah, you get to live in a home that you know the maintenance record of it. It's brand new, so everything is new. You get to decide when the furnace is going to be maintained from the day that you move in. You know that there's no hidden secrets in the home. Chances are pretty high you're not going to get some unforeseen surprise, right? Because it's brand new. So these are all the benefits of having a brand new home that you can just relax and enjoy with no surprises. Okay, con number two is your possession date is completely unpredictable. You'll get a general idea from the builder as to when your possession date will be. Depending on market conditions, it might be 6 months, it might be 9 months, it might be a year. I've seen as much as a year and a half. So it can be quite the process, just not even knowing when your home will be ready. And I'll tell you what's also going to happen. The day will come and you'll get your occupancy permit, and it comes completely unannounced, and you have to be ready to move in within 45 days. And this can be rather daunting, just not knowing and trying to time the current home you're living in with when you're going to be moving in with your new home. And here's the other thing you have to really consider. A lot of the contracts that the builders are doing now, they won't guarantee 100% the final sale price. We all know that material costs are rapidly changing right now all the time. It's really difficult to know how much lumber is going to be 3 months from now, or how much some of the drywall costs are going to be, or roofing costs are going to be as the builder gets towards the finish line. So in all fairness to them, they just don't know 100% what their costs are going to be. So how can they possibly narrow that down for you? So you're going to be a little vulnerable to that final sale price. All right, so pro number three has got to be the peace of mind of having new home warranty. In Alberta, every builder has to provide by law new home warranty on every home that's built. And it's great peace of mind. I mean, typically the builder will give you 1 year, kind of a bumper to bumper. It covers absolutely everything. And then after the first year, it covers most things. And then the final 5 years, it gives you major structural. So there's a real good peace of mind knowing that, hey, if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be covered. I don't have to cover the cost of putting anything out of my own pocket. And I can tell you, the warranty companies that are used throughout Canada, these are big companies that are well funded. And so there's a lot of peace of mind that comes with that. Okay, con number three is, and I touched on this previously about your occupancy permit, because when you are given your 45-day notice, you have to remember one thing. You can get an occupancy permit even though the house is not 100% complete. Now, what I mean by that is there are what we call seasonal deficiencies, for example. that really have nothing to do with the occupancy of inside the home. You can live in the home if the decorative rock outside is not done. You can live in the home if the sidewalk hasn't been paved yet because they just haven't been able to do it because of weather. Those type of things are very common. And the other thing is, when you move in, oftentimes, you go along with the representative from the builder, and they put little pieces of tape, and all these little deficiencies around the house, little nicks here and, marks over here, or maybe there's something wrong in the drywall, or a kitchen cupboard knob is missing, and it kind of adds up all along. And the frustrating thing about it is, you are expected to pay for this house in full with all of these deficiencies that are still yet to be done. And you're kind of at the mercy for the builder to come back and fix all these things, and you don't know when that's going to happen. I have seen situations where I had a client with one builder, he documented like 100 phone calls before he finally got him to come back and finish all those little things that weren't really a big deal in the big scheme of it, but it started to really wear on his patience over time, constantly looking at that little piece of tape on the wall. It drove him crazy. But eventually the builder came back, and I think eventually most builders do, but it can be frustrating just waiting until that date, and it can be a long time. So pro number 4 is, like, currently right now in Calgary, we're in a rising market. You could really luck out, and you could buy a property at today's prices with, what the approximate final sale price will be, which is usually pretty close when the builder gives you the numbers. But if the market keeps rising a year from now, by the day you move in, your home could be worth 10, 20, 30,000, maybe even 50,000 more than you paid for it, and you haven't even moved into the property yet. So that could turn out to be a pretty good investment if you hit it just right. Con number 4, of course, is the market can work against you. And I've seen this because I've done this business for a long time, and I've seen it where the market started to shift after you did your deal with the builder, and by the time you take possession, your house is actually worth less than you paid for it. That actually happened to me in 2007. I bought a property. By the time I moved in, my property had dropped in value by 20%. Very sad. However, there is a silver lining in this. If you keep your property long enough, the market always comes back. But in the short term, it can be a little bit painful. Pro number 5 is this got to be the complete peace of mind that everything in your home is brand new. I don't have to put a new roof on. I don't have to put new windows in. I don't have to replace the furnace. There's just no maintenance to the house at all. I mean, it's just really 100% move in, enjoy the property, and literally for the next 15, 20 years, all you have to do is like clean the furnace filter, and do just regular maintenance. That's really a good peace of mind. That's a real benefit to be able to go brand new. Con number 5, a lot of people don't think about this when they're building, but there are some costs that you can easily forget. Rarely does a new home come with window coverings, and believe me, when you go and price them out and you want to get good ones, that's a real added cost for every single window in the house. You will have to do landscaping, probably have to put sod in, you're gonna have to put a fence around, so depending on how much the builder does, a lot of times they do the front yard but they do nothing in the back. So there's a lot of cost and effort and time being put in just to get all your landscaping in, and this can really start to add up depending on what you want to do. I've actually helped a lot of people build homes, and I will tell you this, whether you go a resale home or whether you go a new home, there is risk. You just don't eliminate risk whether you buy brand new or whether you don't. But a lot of people don't think about using someone like me to help them build. They oftentimes go directly to the builder. Wouldn't it be good to have someone like me who has the experience, understands the builder's contracts, explain things to you completely unbiased from the builder? Because you got to remember, the builder does work for them, they don't work for you. I, on the other hand, work for you. So consider that in your decision when you're building a new home. And if you like this video, please subscribe.